This is part 7 of the ongoing Injustice series where we review every single Injustice 1 comic. And like I said, this is part 7, issue 7. So let's jump right into this. I'm joined by Temp, as always. So, starting off with chapter 1 of that. I'm not sure what chapter 19, I think, in the overall series. But yes, we're on chapter 19, issue 7. Okay, so right off the bat, we get a fatality reference.
That was fun, yeah. I dug it.
So we get a fun little fatality reference when they're talking about Joker's heart being taken out of his body. So one of the kids on the playground or whatever mentions, or he just yells out fatality. That's cute. Fun little Mortal Kombat reference. Right off the bat, the art's a little silly here.
Oh, Black Adam's face took a hit. Oh my gosh, it's so bad.
His face is so great in so many of those panels. They look like the meme things where the face is really angry. It's very realistic and angry. That's where it was. It looked
almost
very
like
comical, you could say.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so many different flavors of Black Adam here. I mean, you got the sort of over exaggerated emoticon face, almost like the troll face.
Yeah.
Then you get like greasy old man Black Adam, and the very next panel, it's just like, oh my gosh.
And he's naked.
Yeah.
He's just very old. Yeah. Anyways, that was good stuff. So, they capture Black Adam. They hold him down. Billy's starting to question things. Black Adam's kind of trying to sense or appeal to Billy's morality, but even the lasso of truth, he's just telling the truth. He'll just keep killing if anybody threatens his city or whatever. And so he gets tied down, and Wonder Woman takes it. And then they force him to say Shazam. He does it. They're a little, Shazam was a little, or Captain Marvel, because it's weird saying what he says for his powers. So it's always odd to me calling him Shazam. But anyways, Captain Marvel, Shazam, regardless, is worried that he might die because he's so old. But he does not die, so alas, he is fine, or at least fine for now. And they take him away. So all is right in the world. But so that's the end of that chapter. Next we go to Metropolis because there's this voice saying, I'm alive. I'm alive. It sounds like a recording. So Superman hears this and he wants to go to Metropolis to investigate because if there's even a chance of anybody, if there's even a 2% chance, we gotta take... Okay, never mind. Sorry. Channeling Batman vs. Superman. Sorry.
Yeah.
No. If Superman even thinks there's even a chance to save somebody in Metropolis that might have survived, he's going to take it. So Green Lantern and Wonder Woman back him up. And Green Lantern... I read the bubble wrong. It was funny because I was reading the bubble wrong, and he's like, I'm going to stay back if you're going to get a kryptonite bullet in the head or something like that. Like, I read it wrong, but he said he was not going to stay. Yeah, he was not going to stay back if he might get a... So it's funny because I was like, man, he's just does not give a crap about Superman.
Even Superman's response fits. It's like, if this is a trap.
So I was just like, man, Green Lantern's just worrying about himself. Not bad. Not bad.
And Superman's like, it might not be a trap. You should come along.
Yeah. So anyways. So he goes along with him. I want to say the art looked really cool here because the way they did his X-ray vision, showing the bodies and the skeletons and all that, actually looked pretty good. I like that. I thought the art looked really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
So I just want to mention that. Anyways, they come across like a little recording or a vault. It's just this ginormous vault, almost like in a bank looking, and it's just ginormous vault. They open it up. It's underneath a building, and Superman looks shocked. I put here, I do love the little quote by Hal or Green Lantern. That's Hal, right? They have established that's Hal. Yeah. Okay, I was like,
that's definitely Jordan.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, Hal, I like that he says, "You're the cheerleader investigating the strange noise in the woods, and we're all yelling for you to stop, like to not go out and investigate." And I like that little, because I mean it's very true. Superman was just going against all his, everything that's stating that this could be a trap. He just kept going out, and I mean he's trying to find somebody. But yeah, I thought that was a funny little reference. And then we got my next note here is that when Superman and Lex see each other, First, they have like a face of shock, but they both just smile at each other. Like they're both just like, and then they're just like, yeah, like yeah, you're alive. What's up? Like they have
It's
this,
super awkward.
yeah, they have this funny smile. Just like it's almost like a very slow smile. Like you could just be like, so
Yeah,
yeah,
like, oh shit, I didn't know you were gonna be
yeah, just
here.
a
But
very
now that
cheesy.
you're here, I guess we should hang out. Yeah.
They needed just like a point to each other. They needed to just like point to each other as they're smiling, and then they need to walk towards each other. They need to slap hands and go for the muscles as they're shaking hands and go, "You son of a bitch!" Like straight out of Predator. Lex Luthor, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, that
Anyways,
this is where the art kind of subtly fails because there should be some sense of relief.
yes,
Like, I mean, joy is like the next step. They went like straight to like boner-inducing joy.
well, they went from like
So
pure shock to yeah, pure happiness instead. Yeah, they didn't go into the relief like, but yeah, that I thought that was funny. And then kind of a touching, sad part where Batman was kind of laying down like some backstory on how Lex survived because he was investigating it as well, just secretly on his own. And he was talking to someone and he was just kind of monologuing about how he could have survived. And the theory was he heard that a speedster must have helped him out, but it wasn't the Flash. So it looks like it was Jesse Quick, who's one of the Flashes, and because it was definitely a female Flash, and she was, I guess he had a contingency plan where she would help him out if it was ever in like an event like this where everything was gonna blow up, she would be quick enough to get him to the vault. And then it shows this really awesome shot actually of just her running, 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 and the theory was she kept trying to save more people, but she wasn't fast enough, unfortunately. And it just shows her skeleton as she's like, melting in the explosion. That that has some heart to it, I gotta say. Another, I mean,
oh yeah.
this wasn't as like impactful as some of the other death scenes that we've seen in the comic series thus far, but this one did kind of touch me a little bit in the sense that it's like, man, that is heroic to the very last beat. If that's what she did on her way out, was just running, trying to save as many people as she could, but she just wasn't fast enough to escape the explosion at the very end of the day.
Well, I
That's
actually had to go
pretty cool.
back because it was very subtle. Like I didn't miss it, but I was like, wait, is she dead? Then I went back and I'm like, wow, she's dead.
Yeah, there's just
Damn, she's
skeleton there.
super dead.
Yeah, but yeah, so that
Oh,
was a cool. I thought that was a cool touch.
and do we know who Batman's talking to in this scene?
No, I would assume it's just some of the people that he's maybe Catwoman. He's been kind of talking to Catwoman the whole time.
I, that'd be weird if it was Catwoman. Like, why not show her, right? Like, I feel like it's someone they haven't introduced yet, and they don't want to tell us. Like, maybe, oh
Maybe,
man,
maybe it's possible it's something they haven't introduced to us. But my thought is why he wasn't like talking to her one on one or showing her was because he was investigating and he said something about Wonder Woman possibly hearing him or catching on to that he was investigating, so he bailed. That's kind of what I caught on to, but maybe I'm just jumping to conclusions there, like a jump to conclusions map,
yeah, which is a very
where
useful
you
map.
jump to conclusions. Okay.
Well, I
Anyways,
was thinking Dead Man. That's all I was saying. Like, I've had Dead Man on the mind lately, so I was thinking possibly Dead Man,
yeah,
but maybe
maybe.
not.
Okay, and then we go to the very end here of this chapter. Is Lex basically he's in the watchtower now, and they're all asking, why should we trust you? Or Wonder Woman was saying, why should we trust you? And he essentially says, well, the reason why you should trust me is he just starts naming off all of their secret identities. He says, actually, you've trusted me up until this point, you just didn't know it. And I thought that was cool, but at the same time, I think back to the Justice League animated cartoon. I don't know if you've ever seen this episode, but Lex Luthor switches bodies with the Flash. I don't remember what the setup was, but somehow
No, I haven't seen it.
they switch bodies. Okay, so Lex Luthor's immediately like he's thinking in his mind. He's the Flash now, and he's like you can hear him thinking out loud, and he starts saying, "Oh man, I can finally learn who the Flash is." He goes up to a mirror. He takes off the mask, and the best line is he looks into the mirror and just deadpans. I have no idea who the hell this is. Because I mean, it makes complete sense. Just because he looks at the face doesn't mean he's gonna know who it is. It's
He
just
knows that Flash is now a dude.
so yeah. He's just like, I have no idea who this is, and he just says it with such a deadpan. Look it up on YouTube after this. It is tremendous. That is such a funny scene from the animated series. But yeah, he's like so excited. He's like, oh, I can finally learn who the Flash is. I have no idea who this is. So then he just goes on about his day. He doesn't even doesn't even sweat it. He just moves on from it. He's like, oh, okay.
Well, outside of Gasp, Bruce Wayne, there really is no big surprise in the DC world when it comes to large identities being exposed. Like
Sure.
at least as far as I know. So
But yeah, no, I just thought that was funny because the fact that he knew all their identities kind of overrides that awesome episode
yeah.
from
Oh,
the animated series. Not that obviously it's its own universe here, but I just thought that was funny. I thought back to that. But that ends that chapter. So basically, he was smart enough to know who all these people were. He just never ratted them out for whatever reason. So he uses that to get them to trust him. Um, from there, the last chapter, we had Hot Girl taken. I guess she was flying and she was carrying the leader of some sort. And Catwoman, Batman, Black Lightning, and who else was there? Captain Atom is the one that nabs her. Oh, and Huntress. Anyways, they all take her out of the sky, they stun her, and then they bring her back to wherever they're hiding her. Some remote location. I don't think we're supposed to know yet. I doubt it's the Batcave because that would be kind of obvious.
yeah,
So it's
that'd
some
be a
remote
little...
location where they're holding her in a chamber. Um, they're mentioning how won't they come for us? Like Catwoman's talking to Batman, won't they come looking for her? And he says no, they won't actually be looking for her. And it turns out she's yeah, she's like, was it like a clone or something?
I have a feeling it's another character.
Yeah,
I have a feeling it's someone we should know or
maybe
recognize.
Clayface or something.
Oh, that'd be crazy. That'd
That
be
would
awesome.
that would be a cool twist actually. If it's Clayface posing as her, that would make complete sense actually. I'm trying to think of who else can disguise themselves and shapeshift like that, but that's the first person that came to mind just now. While I brought that up, actually, I didn't even think about it while reading, but yeah, I'm curious who it actually is. That'd be awesome if Clayface is working with Batman. But
That'd be
yeah,
tight, yeah.
yeah.
I'd love more. Well, maybe this is an alternate universe, so there's no reason Clayface can't be good in this universe.
And just because he's a villain, obviously, it's not unlike this. I mean, Superman and Lex Luthor are apparently best buddies right now,
Yeah.
so there's no reason why Clayface can't be helping out Batman for one reason.
Exactly.
Or just fear from Superman, really. I mean, is enough to make him want to team up. But yeah, so that's where we end off here, is we're kind of left on a cliffhanger going into the next issue. But yeah, the art was a little funky here. I noted that, so...
Well, also little subtleties like Wonder Woman and the Huntress have the same face. Like it's almost the exact same face if you look at the Huntress and then go 2 pages or 1 page forward.
Maybe they're the
It's
same
like the
person.
same. Oh
No, they're not, though.
no, I know,
But they are.
but no.
But maybe. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up. This didn't feel like too much of like a. It's a little bit of a come down issue, really. Especially that first chapter, I thought was with Black Adam was cool, but at the same time, it was very quick and just right there, and it ended really quickly. It wasn't this huge brawl or anything. And then we go to the part with Metropolis. That was the coolest. That was the high note of the comic, I would say. And then we get brought back down with the hot girl being taken. Wasn't much to really write home about. The art was inconsistent. Definitely silliest during the Black Adam part. But yeah.
Yeah.
So it took a hit there, but it was kind of brought back, but still not to the levels that we're used to. At like, definitely wasn't the highest of highs in the art department. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say about this issue. Like I said, it was a little bit more of a filler. It's cool to see the Lex involvement. I'm interested to see what they do with Hawk Girl and who's going to be revealed there. But yeah, that's all I really have to say in recap of this one.
I mean, Lex was my favorite character in this Injustice story mode. Lex is so much more interesting as a good guy, in my opinion. And the Billy Batson stuff is really nice because I feel like it was glossed over in the Injustice game. The dissonance of,
Sure.
should a child see the things this child has seen? And just that conflict of, Shazam versus Billy Batson.
Right.
And it's like rationally Shazam actually does agree with Superman, but his heart is saying like this isn't right. This seems wrong. And basically his final statement was, regardless of whether it's right or wrong, it's affecting me in a negative way, and I
Sure.
can't go back after this. So I thought that was really well. And also, he's just a fun character to spend time with.
Right.
Yeah, those are actually some of my favorite parts of the issue.
Sure, yeah, no, I did like the Billy Batson Captain Marvel moments. Yeah, for sure. I like the inner struggle there, and it makes sense. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him going forward. I honestly, I didn't say this much before, but I don't remember a lot of what happens in the game. So where characters end up or what happens with the characters, I'm not exactly sure. So I really,
It's probably for the
it feels
better.
very fresh to me. Like I don't know where all the chips fall, so to speak, just because of playing the game. That was years ago, and I only played the story mode once. So with that said, on to the next issue. We'll see you for issue number 8 tomorrow, and you guys have a good one. Like if you haven't, and subscribe if you haven't. We got plenty more coming. A lot of the series left to go, leading up to Injustice 2's comics. So see you guys then.
Later.